Hello everybody, it is Kellen Nitro for Nitromaniac TV's a wrestling channel, and this is my take on the Shield's final chapter special that aired this past Sunday. And that was April 21st, 2019 from the Tax Slayer Center in Moline, Illinois. Pretty much what this was is another similar deal to what they were doing early on with the rollout of the network. Is once in a while they would give us a house show. I know they did one for the original Roadblock way back in the day, where they used the Ricoh Coliseum in Toronto, which is one of the smaller venues in Toronto, and that's probably sits about 6,000 people. I think this one probably about the same, about 6, maybe 8,000 people. Moline, Illinois. That sounds like a good AHL slash ECHL hockey type town, if there is a team there. I'm not sure. So looking at Wikipedia, it looked like the undercard was fairly interesting in this thing. I mean, you had an opening match where you had the Raw Tag Team Champions Ryder and Hawkins defeat the Revival and Aleister Black and Ricochet in one of their final appearances together as a tag team. In a triple threat match for the Raw Tag Team Championship. There's no times, of course, listed for any of these matches, but this is just stuff that I found online and on Wikipedia that took place during the card. There was also a cruiserweight title rematch, which I guess would be, well, I don't want to say the third because you don't know what they've been doing on house shows after and that stuff, but Tony Nese defeated Buddy Murphy once again. Lucha House Party versus Jinder Mahal and the Singh brothers in a 6-man tag was a no contest, partly because of something we'll talk about later on. And then Alexa Bliss making a rare in-ring wrestling appearance. Her and Lacey Evans in a tag team defeated Dana Brooke and Nikki Cross. Strange match. Finally, we get to the special, and the special itself runs about an hour 10 on the network, and the opening contest for the Intercontinental title is Finn Balor, the champion, taking on Elias, the challenger. And this is like your typical house show pace that you'll see from the guys. The guys have all the time in the world to go in there and tell the story and make the moves they want to. They work safe. They don't do anything overly flashy. A fairly solid match, timed out to about 6 minutes or so, 6:35 according to my notes here off of the network. And there was a botch with the pin at the end of the match, with the ref kind of half-ass counting the free count with the 2.5 and then pulling his arm up and then no, I'm gonna ring the bell anyway. So I don't know. That's you can get away with that type of stuff during house shows typically, because there's only the live audience there, right? So I'm not going to hold the ref to that. It's just, watch for it on your next Botchamania compilation. Next match on the card, Bayley and Ember Moon defeated the Riot Squad, Ruby Riott and Sarah Logan, with Liv Morgan in the Riot Squad's corner. And this was kind of the last stand, I guess, of the Riot Squad as a team as we know it, with the current 3 in there, because of course Liv Morgan got drafted to SmackDown Live. It sounds like that television appearance might be her last one on TV for a little while. We'll have to wait and see what happens in all the tapings and that's for all the secondary shows, but potentially a repackage for Liv, and then she gets reintroduced to the SmackDown Live crowd and that stuff. But this was her last real run with the Riot Squad, or last real match, I should say, not run, but the last real match with the Riot Squad, involvement in that stuff. Again, your typical house show thing where the faces go over. The faces went over on every match on this 1 hour special for sure, because it's a house show. I don't really expect overly huge booking off of it. And then finally, the main event, The Shield, Ambrose, Rollins, and Reigns taking on Baron Corbin, Bobby Lashley, and Drew McIntyre. Earlier on in the show, I was talking about the no contest between the Lucha House Party and Jinder Mahal and the Singh brothers. Well, that was interrupted by Corbin, Lashley, and McIntyre, who did a Shield-style beatdown like they were doing earlier in the year, leading up to Fastlane, against both sides, Lucha House Party and Mahal and Singhs. So, it built it up. They built up as more of a credible Fret and that stuff. I would have loved, and I don't think they had resources for this in this match, for it to be an old-fashioned Shield, no disqualification, bonsai, balls to the wall, 6-man tag, like that Freesom was doing with like Daniel Bryan and Kane and Ryback way back in the day in 2012, 2013, just due to the fact on how insane those matches were, especially the first TLC match and everything along those lines. Just, it really established the Shield as that faction. This was a real safe 6-man. I don't think anybody really there was anything really highlighty about it or whatever. Typical house show pace. Fans got to see their heroes up close and personal, which is always good. And the fans seemed a little bit more receptive for this match than they were throughout the entire special. The fans in Moline kind of were a little flat here and that stuff. But, it was a thing where, what were the lead-up matches, right? The lead-up matches were kind of, mid-range, Raw, opening match to, Alexa Bliss was there, but... that was a weird alignment in that tag match, Alexa and Lacey Evans versus Dana and Nikki Cross. So that's kind of a lead into the special. It's kind of, okay. So my take on this whole thing and that stuff, bonus stuff like this is always great to see on a network, and that's the whole reason why you buy the network, is to check out the bonus stuff for sure. I'll give the special a 6 out of 10, being what it is, kind of an unexpected surprise. As we've seen the next night on Raw, obviously no Ambrose, as he had quote-unquote left the company. We're still unsure on his status, whether he's AEW bound, if he's re-signing with WWE, or if he's just taking time off and that stuff. My prediction is Ambrose is probably going to take some time off here, and we won't see him maybe for a year or two. I think honestly that he'll probably sit back, maybe take some acting stuff in Hollywood or whatever, some other opportunities, or just kick back and relax. It sounds like the guy was mentally burnt out at his struggles with creative and that stuff, especially coming back from the bicep injury, and pretty much WWE, I don't want to say having nothing for him, but close to nothing for him. They kind of freshened it up a little bit with him turning on Seth the night that Roman made his cancer announcement and that stuff on Raw. But, it was short-lived because of, trying to elevate Seth as that guy going to WrestleMania with the chase of Lesnar and the Universal title, right? I almost figure if they were both on SmackDown and if Ambrose was WWE champion, if we would have, seen maybe a different outcome out of all this, but it is what it is. So, right, folks, thanks for watching. Later days, happy wrestling watching, and we'll see you next time. Go check this out on the network. It's, like I said, only about an hour and 10 minutes, but it's worth a watch. It's a quirky little special for sure.